Okay, welcome back, everybody. We have to talk about the United States defeating Canada by the score of 3-1 in the Four Nations face-off on the 60th anniversary of Flag Day in Canada. And as I keep saying, this entire Four Nations face-off is synced up with the tariffs that Donald Trump put on Canada February 1st. I have a video on that. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it, as well as the death of Johnny Gaudreau. They won't let it go with that guy. But the United States, as expected, this victory has clinched a spot in the final, which is February 20th at TD Garden in Boston. So, and when Canada beats Finland on Monday, they will advance to the final, and we will have the final that we expected from the beginning. So, the word tariff sums to 60. This was the 60th anniversary of Flag Day in Canada. Their inaugural Flag Day was 1965. Emphasis on 65 in a moment. But from this, we now have statistics that we did not have before. We now have statistics. This is from the official Hockey Canada site, the best of the best tournaments, meaning all NHL players representing the Americans and the Canadians. The all-time history, Canada was 14-4-1 with 2 wins in overtime entering tonight's game. They are now 14-5-1, and they've scored 71 goals against the United States all time. That matters as well. But this may very well tell us the winner, information we did not have, or at least I didn't have, even a few days ago. So notice again, the word tariff sums to 60, right? This game between the U.S. and Canada on the 60th anniversary of Flag Day, go figure. Canada all pissed off at the tariffs the United States has put on them, even though Canada has had tariffs on the U.S. For decades, like my entire lifetime. Don't know why it's wrong when the U.S. does it, but not Canada. But okay, I guess that's a whole nother discussion. But anyway, there it is, Flag Day, February 15th. Now, Johnny Gaudreau, right, he played for the Calgary Flames and the Columbus Blue Jackets. Calgary is in Alberta, Canada. Columbus is in Ohio, the United States. One city knows what a woman is, the other doesn't. But Gaudreau, again, American, Canadian, American city, Canadian city. He wore the number 13. The U.S. won 1-3 or 3-1. Gaudreau wore the number 13, died at age 31. And again, the inaugural Flag Day of Canada was 1965. Johnny Gaudreau sums to 65. 65 is the 46th composite number. February 15th is the 46th day of the year. So I've been keeping up with this story. The supposed killer of the Gaudreau brothers, Johnny and Matthew, kind of reminds you of Matthew and Brady Tkachuk, the brothers on the United States, who both scored 2 goals in the U.S.'s rout of Finland to kick off the Four Nations tournament for the States, as well as, well, they would also have Jack and Quinn Hughes if it wasn't for the injury to Quinn Hughes. But notice Sean M. Higgins, 44, he pleaded not guilty on January 7th, right? A date written 7/1, like 71, the 20th prime number. Tonight's game was the 20th all-time matchup between the United States and Canada. Canada now has 71 goals all-time versus the U.S. It's also a date written 1/7, like how Ottawa, the capital of Canada, sums to 17. The date written 7/1, July 1st, is Canada Day. So again, the supposed killer, Sean M. Higgins, pleaded not guilty January 7th. That date was 44 days before the Four Nations final. Wikipedia is sure to let you know that the Four Nations face-off consists of 4 teams. They should just give you a finger like this next to it. So words like military, officer, trooper, execution, not guilty, infantry, they all sum to 44. There's more to that list. Kill is 44. 44-year-old Sean M. Higgins. So this is what I've been talking about. John Michael Gaudreau, his full name is 86. Four Nations face-off is 86. Words like human sacrifice and blood sacrifice also sum to 86. If you're new here, it's Gematria, the ancient practice of coding letters into numbers. It's how all of these sports are rigged. So 86 is the 60-second composite number. Sean M. Higgins is 62. So again, from the day Johnny Gaudreau died, August 29th, 2024, to the date of the final here, February 20th, is the final is on the 176th day following his death. And again, John Michael Gaudreau sums to 176. So does Donald J. Trump, who put the tariffs on Canada, which this is all synced up with. Speaking of, remember the day he was born, 8/13. We talked about that on the Stanley Cup Finals prediction this year on my Patreon page. So we'll talk about that more on the Patreon, of course, coming up. We're going to do our live stream on February, or I mean in April. I mean, time goes by quick. It'll be only 2 months away right now. So if you missed the first video I put out on Donald Trump putting the tariffs on Canada, let's go back and check it out. All we got to do is scroll down right to here. Remember, Trump said Canada he said Canada should be the 51st state, or if they don't comply with the tariffs, he'll make them the 51st state, right? He insinuated it. February 20th, the 51st day of the year. It's going to be played in TD Garden, home of the Boston Bruins, which sums to 51. Hockey Canada is 233, the 51st prime number. So, again, we'll get the U.S. and Canada in the final. And now that we have the numbers, thanks to Hockey Canada, has my opinion changed? Maybe. Maybe not. But, yeah, couldn't be any more obvious of a script. And I will talk to you guys soon. Until next time.